Hi viewers, you're watching Swaraajya and JSW TV. Today I have the pleasure of introducing a truly remarkable guest. Her name is Mrs. Rosy Thakkar, hailing from India, and she has been actually involved in US politics. Notably, she was elected to lead the local GOP, making her the first Sikh woman to hold that position. Beyond her political achievements, Rosy has been dedicated to various initiatives benefiting children and women. I am honored to be sitting beside her, and without any delay, let me introduce her properly.
Thank you
Welcome
so
to
much.
the Rosy Thakkar.
Thank
So
you.
how are you doing?
It. Very good. I'm very good, very honored to be here. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
We are also so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Presently we all know about you, Mrs. Rosy Thakkar, but we want to know more about you. Can you provide about your overview and your background?
Sure, absolutely. So I was born in India, in Uttar Pradesh, and I was born in a Sikh family.
Okay.
I have two brothers and a sister. So I'm the oldest one and a bossy one. So my thing is very simple. Being born into the Sikh family, I grew up with rich culture, you know, the heritage and the spiritual influence that have shaped my values and perspective quite a bit. So what I learned as my upbringing was in a Sikh family, my grandparents, my uncle, aunts, we all lived in a big one family. You know how India is.
Yeah, I know.
It's everybody lives in one family.
Amazing.
So we grew up together with my siblings. It was a good time. We were raised with values, Sikhism. So Ek Onkar, which means one God. So being a Sikh, we believe that it is one God that we follow. And then my parents, my grandparents, they kept teaching us the values of Sikhism.
Okay.
We moved on to understand that Sikhism, there's so much to do with Sikhism. You know, when we pray for everybody. We don't just pray for ourselves. We say something sarbat da bhala, which means good for everyone. And then we do seva. Seva means selfless work, right? So giving back to the community. And seva can be of so many different ways. I got involved in seva at the Gurdwara when I was very young. I raised my kids the same way here in America. We used to do seva in Gurdwaras, in the mandir. Seva can be done in any way. It's like giving back to the community, right? Seva can be cooking in the Gurdwara. Seva could be if you know the language, you could be teaching somebody. That's seva. So seva comes in a different ways, and I was very fortunate, very blessed to be born in a family which was huge. My aunts, uncles, grandparents, everybody lived in one big home. So I got influenced by everyone. Like my grandmother taught us a lot of things. My mom taught us all different things. My father was very strict. So my father wanted us to get education in a Catholic school because that was one of the best schools in India at that moment. The funny, strange thing that I keep telling my kids about this also is that school was 1.5 hours away.
Oh.
So it took us 1.5 hours one way to drive or go by bus to that school. So I went to St. Mary's Convent in Kanpur. That was all-girls school, but I am glad my parents gave me the best gift, the gift of education. So I think that led me to, you know, improvise, to learn a lot. So
that is
I was
the
being
powerful
great.
weapon, actually.
Very powerful. Education.
Yes.
It's the key. It gives you strength, and every woman should have the right to education, which I think a lot of people in India don't, and that bothers me.
Really?
Here I'm seeing in America, you know, no child left behind. Everybody is getting education. So I feel like every country should adopt that. They should focus more on women empowerment, women education. So my thing was I was very blessed that at home I was being raised with the Sikh values. I was learning about seva. I was learning about sarbat da bhala. Then at the same time in school, I was learning about the Catholic values. And then I soon realized, even in our school, we were being taught that God is one God. And we learned very quickly giving back to the community was the values that I was learning in school as well. And then I started thinking that it is the same Sikh values that I'm learning, same values I'm learning at school. And then as we grew older, we started realizing that we need to start doing something, giving back to the community. Then something very interesting came my way. I was always interested in basketball. I enjoyed playing basketball. I never made it to the competitive level, but I enjoyed it. But what gave me a bigger joy was my involvement in painting classes. Now, I was taught about the painting in school, right? And during that time, I realized that this gives me better joy. And what the underlying thing that I learned, pretty much I realized after many years, the reason I was enjoying painting was because there was a charitable organization. They used to take our paintings and then sell them.
Okay.
So every time they would sell this, the money would go to some good charity for a good cause. So here I was enjoying my paintings because I was enjoying the whole process that was giving me joy. But at the same time, knowing that my paintings have reached someone who is appreciating, but at the same time, they're being sold. And those paintings, the price, the money that was collected from that was going towards a good cause. Yes. So all that was giving me a lot of joy. So I really started taking pride in my work. And then gradually I realized that, you know, being bossy in the house, being the oldest sister in the house, it just gave me that leadership thing. And then in school, I was made the captain of my team. And even we used to have something like called different groups, red group, yellow group, blue group, and green group.
Okay.
I was the captain of red group. So all the girls, the entire school was divided into 4. It was a very healthy competitions that we used to have. So that gave me a startup with the leadership qualities. Leadership qualities don't just come in one day. So gradually you build into it.
Yes.
So then I started getting so comfortable being the leader, organizing different events in my school. So that gave me, you know, a lot of pleasure about doing that. But that was St. Mary's Convent in Kanpur that I got to do that. And then, you know, we looked up to Mother Teresa a lot. You remember Mother Teresa?
Yeah, I love her.
So the charities that she did. And that influence, you know, these dual influences have had a big influence on me and gave me a path leading me to leadership qualities, leading me to do better for the community, doing some seva, giving back to the community. And then at the same time, it gave me that entire interest in public service. So that is pretty much my entire...
When you were doing this kind of things in India, did you get, what type of response did you get from your family?
My family, and that is the reason why my father tried his hardest to put me and my sister in all-girls school in St. Mary's Convent. It was one of the most expensive, but the transportation, the commute, think about it, going 1.5 hours one way, coming back another 1.5 hours, you're spending 3 hours of your daily life on the bus, commuting. So the reason behind him, we didn't understand at that time. What we do now, I appreciate. And as I said, I'm thankful to my parents for giving me the best gift of that they could have given in my life. It is the gift of education. But they were encouraging. My parents, my father encouraged me all the way. He still does. So if I call him and I tell him, I'm thinking about this, and he's like, why not doing it? I'll say, Dad, I want to, you know, explore who I am. So then he told me the other day, there is a very famous proverb by Mahatma Gandhi ji. He said, if you want to find yourself, lose yourself into the seva of others. And that stuck with me.
Cool.
So I think he's been my biggest rock.
Yeah.
He's been very supportive.
That's a great thing, actually.
Mm-hmm.
What were your career aspirations when you were in Anga?
So that was totally different. I really wanted to be a doctor. I got selected in AIMS in Delhi, and I started my college as well. So 6 months of my medical education, I did get that, and then I got married.
Oh.
So that has been a huge regret for me for not becoming a doctor. But I think that's a part of life.
Yeah.
You win some and you lose some. So I think I made peace with that. And I said, okay, that's not a problem. I will continue. The other thing that I always wanted to do is travel. I really wanted to travel around the world. So then I thought at one point, I would like to be a travel agent. I would like to be a travel consultant. And that's when my company came into existence. So I started a company from literally nothing, and I made it into a multi-million-dollar company. It exists. I've been handling that for now 2 decades.
Where did you start that one?
I
Here or
started
India?
I started here.
Here. Okay.
So
Which year?
I was. It's been 20 years.
Oh.
So it's been 20 years, and my daughter was very young. I thought, okay, I want to travel, and the best way to travel is to get to know the destinations first, which I did. So I think traveling, again, was very good to me, and my friends started telling me, since you are, interested in traveling, you just went there, and why don't you organize something for my daughter, something for my son? We did destination weddings. So my friends became my clients. And then gradually we just got so big, and then I started getting more interested in trains. So right now, as of today, I charter the trains. There are 5 trains in Spain that I enjoy traveling. Last month I was on one of them.
Oh.
And I took my daughter. We had a good time. These are high-end luxury trains for like 7 nights. And then I have 2-3 trains that we run in India. You must have heard about Palace on Wheels,
Yeah.
Deccan Odyssey, Maharaja Express.
We all heard.
So those are the luxury trains that I became really good at. And then I got into Spain travel a lot. And just like, we have all these convents, castles, monasteries in Spain, the government of Spain decided to convert them into paradors. They call it paradors. So then I created an infrastructure where we can book those sitting here in the United States. So my clientele is a lot of people from Australia, people from US. They all travel to Spain. So I help them with that. So that's my bread and butter.
That's amazing. But as a mother and as a woman, how did you manage your time with managing company and your kid? You said your kid was so little that time.
It's not easy, I'm not gonna lie. It is a lot of work, but it is doable. If you're passionate about something, if you really put your mind to it, then I think we women are multitaskers to begin with. But then once you put your mind to it, you feel like we can achieve this. Yes, my kids were very young. I used to take them to all kind of activities. It wasn't just that I was a mother, I was a chauffeur. I was an Uber driver who was not getting paid. I was taking them to ballet classes, football classes, basketball classes. I was taking them to swimming classes. So juggling all that takes time, but I think I'm a timeline and a calendar kind of a girl. So if you put everything down on a schedule, I think it is easy to do it, but then my husband was very supportive as well. So I think I was blessed with good friends around. We would carpool a lot, so I think that helps.
So many things on your plate that
Yes.
time. Yeah. now also actually.
Yes.
And what motivated you to enter into the politics? Actually, as you said, we all know you have your leadership qualities from your childhood.
Yes.
So, especially some situations and some what happened. So some situations around around us to motivate to enter into politics. Or we want to do something. We want to give something to our society. So that kind of situations did you face, and did you?
I did. So we all do. We all do see a lot of things that are happening around us, but we don't ask questions. So I think that's where I am requesting everyone to think twice before you complain, because it's easy to complain. I was one of them. I was complaining a lot. I was like, this is not right, that cannot be done, and this should be done. So then came a point where I thought, okay, who do I reach out to in politics where we can talk about policies, where we can bring a change? Then I looked around and I found that there are not that many women in politics. So that was my motivational point as well. And then I thought there are not that many women in politics.
Yes.
There are not that many Indian women in politics. And then I thought it is time for us to make a change. So I thought, all right, before I complain, why don't I get up and do the work? It is a lot of work, no doubt. This was a learning experience for me, but there were a lot of things that motivated me, things that were happening around town, in school systems. I was looking at the Board of Ed, I was looking at the school curriculum, how things have changed. My kids are now grown up, they're done with school, they're done with college, but I do have friends. Their kids are still in college, they're still in school, they're still in elementary school. And you know, what motivates me is that I have to create a legacy. We have to create a community that we would like to live in. I would like to, encourage everybody to wake up, do something, and you should try to give back to the community, get involved, get engaged into the community. So I think all of those things just motivated me to join the politics.
What challenges did you face when you starting the political career?
That's a good one. There was a lot. Not that many people are appreciative of taking, I'm not going to say orders, but taking instructions from a woman and taking instructions from a woman of color. That is an issue for a lot of people. So I learned this early on, that it is going to be a challenge, but I think I was able to break that barrier very quickly. I was able to communicate with people a lot. We became friends over the years, as I've been engaged with different political situations and been part of a lot of politics. I have learned how to build the bridges, build community, unity, and I think I have a way of bridging people that definitely helped me overcome all those obstacles.
How do you believe you can make a difference through politics?
There is a lot that you can do. First, get involved, get engaged, wake up and look around you. See what's happening, what disturbs you, what bothers you the most. And I think making a difference in politics, making a difference in Board of Ed, Board of Education, is simply by getting up and going there. I'm seeing a lot that parents complain a lot that their curriculum is not good, things are not going right with the school system. But here's my question. How many of you actually go to the Board of Ed meetings? You should go attend the Board of meetings and see what's happening. Same thing with politics. If something bothers you, reach out to your Congress people, reach out to your assemblymen, reach out to your senators, talk to them, make that bridge, cover that bridge, reach out to them and see how you can partner up with them and do something about it. For me, I think I can make a lot of difference. There is going to be more opportunities where I can be a bigger impact. I can create a bigger impact, not just in my town, maybe in the entire New Jersey, maybe just nationwide. There is a lot of opportunities. I have a few friends that are running for assembly again, and they're sitting assemblywomen. I have seen the difference they make. Some of my favorite people are Ora Dunn. She's an assemblywoman. Then there is Michelle Matsikoudis, Nancy Munoz. These are the women who are making a difference already. There is another favorite of mine. She's running for Senate, Pat Johnson. Then LD16, I have Mike Pappas running for Senate. I have Ross Trapahagan running for Assembly. And my favorite woman again, she's a Chinese woman.
Okay.
Absolutely the most hardworking person I have ever seen, Grace Zhang. And then I have two commissioners. Now, I'm going to tell you more about Somerset because I'm from Montgomery, Somerset, right? So we have two people, two of my favorite guys, and I have seen them. They work really hard.
Oh.
So they are really going door to door, door knocking, and making an impact, bridging, communicating. I have Don Lemma and I have Gallic. These are the two gentlemen running for the commissioner for Somerset County. So I think what we all need to do is get engaged into, I'm not saying just get involved in the politics right away, but at least reach out to people who are running. Your support is extremely important to us.
That is the first qualification for leader.
Absolutely. Just bridge that, communicate. I think communication is the key and unity is the strength. I totally believe in these two. And I think you can just make a donation. You can come for a meet and greet. It doesn't take that much. These candidates, when they put their name on the ballot, they're not just signing themselves or their life, they are involving their entire family onto that ballot. So they get involved for the entire months in a row, week after week, working very hard for the community. So I think it becomes our civic duty of everybody to just come forward and do what is right for the community.
Who is your role model in politics?
I have quite a few, and I think right now my biggest role model out of the females, women, is Michelle Matsikoudis. So I think if anyone has any time, they must log on and see her website. It's called Michelle Matsikoudis for Assembly. You will see the remarkable work that she has done. It is mind-blowing how much impact every woman can make in politics and in the lives of the entire community.
So you were from Republican. Why Republican? Why not others? Can you explain?
So it wasn't like I don't appreciate anybody else. It's not about the party. It's more about the candidates. So I think when I became involved, it was more about the candidates. Most of the candidates that I believed in, or most of the values that I was aligned with, were all Republican. So I just ended up with the Republican Party.
So you were from Sikh community. As a Sikh, how have you supported and contributed to the Sikh community actually?
So Sikh community, we have a Khalsa school right now, and the Gurdwara that I go to, and I have been a part of that Gurdwara for a very long time. That is in Lawrenceville. It is Sikh Sabha of New Jersey. It is in Lawrenceville. I request everybody to please come. You don't have to make appointments to meet God. You have to have that connection. You have to have that faith. So you need to come there. My connection and my contribution to the Gurdwara has always been, again, being a part of the kitchen, being around kids. Even going forward, if you are ever interested, anyone who wants to do community service, they can come to our Gurdwara. Every third Saturday of every month, we have a neighborhood langar. So that is like community kitchen. You can come at 7:30 a.m. You can help with the cooking, you can help with the packing, and then this food is donated to the needy people in Trenton. And can I tell you, donating food is not, it should not be seen as charity. It is just an act of love. We do it because we can. We have the time, we have the resources. So we should help everyone we possibly can. So I think my connection with Gurdwara has been for years and will continue to be like. I would love to teach my kids and the next generation to get involved.
Do you have that much facilities when you came here first time?
No. So this is interesting because we did not have a Gurdwara that we would go to. The seniors that we had, my husband, his aunt, and their friends, they used to rent fire stations. And then they would clean the entire fire station in the morning, eat breakfast there, set it up, and then we would go there. We would then just clear up in the evening. We would rent it for just one day, and then we would come back. So no, to answer your question, no, we didn't. So when this Gurdwara was built, there was a lot of hard work that went behind it. There are a lot of people who took care of it for years and years. I wasn't a part of that building process, but there are volunteers, there are parents, fathers, mothers who have brought the Gurdwara to the place where it is now. We now have a Khalsa school. We are very proud of our Khalsa school. So there are a lot of students that are registered. They learn Gurmukhi. Anyone who's interested in learning Gurmukhi, you don't have to be a student, you don't have to be a child. We have adult Gurmukhi classes as well.
Okay.
So I think it is, we are very blessed to have a Gurdwara that is so close by in Lawrenceville.
How are you feeling now that Gurudwara is filled with people right now? So you started that Gurudwara. So
No,
you are
I
the
don't
part
think,
of that one.
yes, I don't think I would be able to say that I started in any way. I was not a part of building it, but at the same time, Gurdwaras are made by God. It is His wish. If the
You are so
Almighty,
generous.
no, I have nothing to do with the building of the Gurdwara. It is God. God has everything to do, but then there are many seniors who have built it from ground up, buying the land, building it, and maintaining it. Building is one thing, maintaining every weekend is something different. We have our Friday Divan, we have our Sunday Divan.
Okay.
Fridays, it's in the evenings, followed by Langar. And then again on Sunday, we have Kirtan, followed by Langar. And at the same time, our Gurdwara is hosting the classes. So the mothers and the fathers who know Gurmukhi, who know Punjabi, they teach those kids. So we have different classes, different levels. They are the ones who are making Gurdwara. I have nothing to do. I'm just spreading the word. I'm just telling everyone that please, if you are interested, if you are not aware of this Gurdwara, we have several Gurdwaras in New Jersey. There's one in Bridgewater, Glen Rock, but this one is close to my heart. And please do come anytime you are able to.
How do your Sikh values align with the principles and policies of the party?
Sikh values are all about giving back to the community. We believe in seva, so do Republicans. So first of all, it's not fair to compare politics with a faith or religion. However, if you ask me, and if I dig a little bit deeper, I think there's a lot in common. That makes me very comfortable being in both places. Sikhs have always been warriors. They have been in army and navy, and they have always been protecting our country for centuries. Same thing, our Republican Party also believes in protecting the borders, safeguarding the people, encouraging people to do the charity work. That's again Sikhism too. We Sikhs do believe in seva, giving back to the community. There is a lot in common, but at the same time, I think we cannot just, compare both the places that way. But I think giving back to the community is definitely very, very important, and we should continue to do that.
How do you think being a businesswoman similar to chairwoman? How do you feel?
I think there is a lot of similarities. It's a personal thing. So I think while I was the chairwoman and while I was the businesswoman, it was easy for me because they both take leadership qualities. There are strategic thinking, decision making, communication, problem solving is the biggest of all, and networking. Then resilience. I think both roles often come with a high level of stress and adversity. Resilience and the ability to handle setbacks are critical to the long-term success. And I think that having similar skill set, I was able to juggle and handle both of them.
You are great actually.
Thank you.
So those are very hard actually. So you said it is very easy and you are managed successfully.
I
That's a
appreciate
great
that.
thing.
Thank you.
So we want to know more about you, but we have limited time. So I'm going to close. So in next episode, we will cover all those things.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Some of the strongest people are running, and they have their names on the ballot this year. For example, in Somerset County, LD16, Mike Pappas is running for Senate. Ross Trapahagan is running for Assembly. And Grace Yang is also running for Assembly position. Then we have two candidates running for Commissioner, Don Lemma and Gallic. So I would urge everybody to please go out and vote for them and also support them, go to their meet and greets. And then we have in Manville, we have Joe Lukac running for mayor. And I absolutely cannot forget my friends who are running in Bridgewater. Matt Mensch is running for mayor. And then Tim Ring, Michael Kirsch, they're also running from Bridgewater. Please go and support them. Thank you.
Please subscribe to.
Please subscribe.
Subscribe to.
Please subscribe.
Please
subscribe.
Please subscribe to
Days-Histories TV.
Days-Histories TV.
Days-Histories TV.
Days-Histories TV. Days-Histories TV.
Please subscribe to Swaraajya TV.
Please sign in Ublood.
Please sign up for Ublood.
Ublood app sign in అవ్వండి, రక్తదానం చేయండి.